And I wanted to start exploring this avenue of like revealing more of the process. So I started doing these experimental projects, and I was invited with other Magnum photographers to do a project in the Republic of Georgia. And at this time I was really I was sort of bitter about photography, documentary photography, and I just didn't want to do a story on, and I was actually assigned like a story on ethnic diversity in Georgia. And I just felt like, how am I going to add anything in 2 weeks to the perception of this? And so I decided to do something else. I decided to go looking for the most beautiful woman in Georgia instead. But I like framed it in that I traveled around photographing ethnically diverse areas in Georgia. And this is also a point at which I was tired of my voice as a like Midwestern nice guy photographer. I felt it was fraudulent, and that I have this, I have a dark side. There's a predatory side to being a photographer. And so I, photographed out my window women, and it was, it was pretty disturbing in a lot of ways. And but it was interesting. So I found her. That's her, and the text there's, it's on the KISS side of town. I saw her, tall, pale, absolute perfection. Zaza, who's my assistant, asked me if we could take pictures. They said it was against their religion for women to be photographed. Has she ever been photographed? Is this why she's so beautiful? It's a question. Now, to tell you the end of the story, which is pretty amazing, is that, so this project was kind of done because one of the photographers, Thomas Dvorak, had a relationship with the president. And so the president was going to step in and make her be photographed, and then there was a big outrage because there's a lot of pride about the beauty of women in Georgia, and there's an outrage that this was a kissed woman and that she was not truly Georgian. So in fact, I got at the issue of ethnic diversity in a funny way. Last night, Larry Fink talks and shows the beat work. This is a Larry Fink picture. And this is what was really troubling me last night, is that I'm not a beat. I'm not even close to a beat. I didn't hit the road when I was 18 to photograph a troop of beats and get arrested at the border and all this. I don't have that story. And it's a problematic thing because here I am, presenting myself in front of an audience, and I don't have that story. And so I was trying to analyze this and also Fink's affection for other people. And when he talked about like the music of black culture, and I come from a different culture, pretty white culture. And I started thinking like, what is representative of me? And so I pulled out this picture. This is from 1997, this photograph, and this is my kind of guy, and I do have a love for this kind of person, and in fact, this is me working towards a philosophy. But my work is somehow it's about the distance between people and the longing to connect. It's not the full connection. It's not in your face the way Larry's work is. It's there's a distance and a desire to look through there and peer at the other person. Which is why distance is a key element to my work. So this is a picture in California. We did a project called 3 Valleys. This is in Silicon Valley. This is actually on the campus of Facebook. And then San Joaquin Valley, and then finally Death Valley. And I do think, I once had a survey exhibition called The Space Between Us, and maybe that's part of my philosophy.